Hola, la clase. This is your professor, Suzanne Tate, and we're starting Spanish 2, and you'll be listening to some of these videos every day. I'll have something online, maybe 2, maybe 3 every day. Right now, this will just get you through Monday, I'm hoping, the first day. The first thing you need to do, you need to make sure you have the audio CDs, plus the textbook, plus the workbook. The textbook looks like this, and the workbook looks like this, and the CDs, the audio CDs look like this. You need to listen to your audio CDs, and you need to start with the vocabulary CD, which is somewhere in the back, and it is disc 2 of 4, disc 2 of 4, and it says vocabulario capítulo 2 hasta capítulo 5, which chapter 2 through chapter 5. We're starting on chapter 4, Spanish 2, starting with chapter 4, and so you'll find that disc. And the tract number for that disc that you need to start with is number 24. You go to track number 24, and you will listen to that, and the vocabulary is, I believe, on page 168. You will listen to the CD and follow the vocabulary. You should do this for the next 3 days. Go ahead and listen to the CD every single day. Listen to all this vocabulary. Maybe you want to do it 2 times or 3 times. It depends on how good your Spanish is, but you want to get accustomed to all these words. They're only in Spanish, so you'll have to follow along and see what they mean in English. So you need to do that once or twice a day. And I'll talk to you about the audio CD, the listening part that you'll be doing and writing answers down in just a minute. But we're going to start chapter 4, la página 152, page 152. It's this is what's on that first page, and it's los días feriados y las celebraciones. Los días feriados y las celebraciones, and my copy is backwards, and it's very difficult to see, but it's, oops, here, I can turn that around. I thought I had it turned around, but I don't. There, it should be correct now. It is still hard to see, but I'm going to go over these real quickly, and we're starting with right here. You can look in your book because it's a lot easier to see. But we're starting with La Noche Vieja and El Año Nuevo. La Noche Vieja is Christmas Eve. El Año Nuevo is not. I'm so sorry. It's not Christmas Eve. It's New Year's Eve. I'm so sorry. And then El Año Nuevo is New Year's Day. The next feast we have is Los Reyes Magos, El 6 de Enero. That is the Three Kings. We don't celebrate that very much in the United States, but it is a feast day in many Latin American countries, most of them, and it's called Los Reyes Magos, the Three Kings, and it's associated with the Christmas story. Next we have El Día de los Enamorados. We call it, and most Latin American countries call it El Día de San Valentín, St. Valentine's Day, which is El 14 de Febrero, the 14th of February. Next is, difficult to see, down at the bottom, it's La Pascua, which is Easter. The week before that is called, in Latin American countries, La Semana Santa, which is Holy Week. After that, El Cumpleaños is a birthday. Your birthday and anyone's birthday. We already talked about in Spanish 1, ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? and there's el cumpleaños. All right, the next is el Día de la Madre. We talked about that also in Spanish 1, for those who were in my Spanish 1 class. El Día de la Madre, that happens in Mexico el 10 de Mayo, the 10th of May, but in the United States it's celebrated on the second Sunday of May. Next, el Día del Padre. El Día del Padre in the United States is celebrated in June. We have el Día de la Independencia. In the United States is el 4 de Julio. But in many, many Latin American countries, I don't know why they all have the same Independence Day, but it's el 16 de septiembre, 16th of September. It is not Cinco de Mayo. That is not Independence Day. Next we have, they really don't celebrate something called All Hallows Eve like we do, and they don't call it El Día de las Brujas, which means the Day of the Witches. They don't call it that because they really don't celebrate it, but that would be Halloween. But they do celebrate El Día de los Muertos. I don't know if you can see it there. And El Día de Todos los Santos. They do have the dates mixed up, I believe. No, that's right. El Día de Todos los Santos is the first, es el 1 de noviembre, and El Día de los Muertos is el 2 de noviembre. Okay, right here, where the turkey is, el pavo. El Día de Acción de Gracias, Thanksgiving, of course, that's not celebrated in Latin American countries. Obviously, El Ramadan is not either, nor is El Hanukkah, but they added them, I guess, to be politically correct. But the big one, a really big one, is right here. La Navidad, Christmas, and right before that, Christmas Eve, La Nochebuena. And they do quite a bit with La Nochebuena, much more than we do here in the United States. It's as big of a thing, Christmas Eve, as Christmas Day is for us. These are all on your page 152. You can get accustomed to these words by listening to your CDs. Then what I want you to do, once you're accustomed to those, recognizing them, listening to them with the CDs, I want you to do page 152, activity 1, and it's at the bottom. It's right under this picture. And we'll do the first one together, and you can do the rest. There are only 5 of them. The first one says, Una persona celebra el día en que nació con globos, un pastel y regalos. And that is saying a person celebrates the day in which he was born with balloons, a cake, and presents. You have 3 choices: el cumpleaños, el año nuevo, or el día de los enamorados. Of course, it's going to be A, el cumpleaños. So you're just going to check. You don't have to write it out. You will just check mark. Just number 1, A, B, or C. I'm not going to make you write it out. It might be a good thing to make you write it out, but I'm not going to. Then actividad 3. Skip activity 2. But actividad 3 en la página 153. Number 1. El blank es un día de fiesta en los Estados Unidos. Las familias se reúnen y preparan una comida abundante. Well, a lot of those words are cognates, and a lot of them you've learned in Spanish 1. It's saying the blank is a holiday in the United States. Families get together and prepare an abundant meal. So, of course, that would be El Día de Acción de Gracias. All right, so you'll have those to do. You can just say put the whatever would be in the blank. Write that down. Number 1, write that down. Another activity that I want you to do for this for these assignments is copy down. I know this sounds like a lot, but since we're not meeting, you're going to do it. I do want you to copy down all the vocabulary in Spanish and English on pages 168 and 169. So not only are you going to listen to the vocabulary. You're going to copy down all the words in Spanish and English. It will really help you to get used to these words and memorize them. One last thing that you will do, not one last, two other things. Another written thing that you will do in your workbook, and I'm gonna put all this on the portal. In your workbook, you're going to do page 99. This is a written thing, and it's just asking what activities would you do or are associated with these holidays. For example, number 1 says, En Navidad me gusta. So in Christmas time or on Christmas, I like to, and then you'll tell me what you like to do. You'll have to look up some activities in previous chapters or come up with something on your own. Number 2, durante la Semana Santa, that's Holy Week. Now, we don't do Holy Week here, but we have spring break. Pretend like it's spring break. During spring break, I want to, yo quiero, and then you can put something there. So these are things that you want to do, that you like to do, that you're going to do, that you'd rather do, just during, and it should make sense. Because, for example, on New Year's, I like to sunbathe in my backyard. That's not going to work out because it's New Year's and it's cold here. So make them make sense. Okay, they need to make sense, your ideas. And you'll need to scan all this to and send it to me via email, scanned and send. Okay, then the last thing that's associated with these holidays and celebrations are in your workbook. Again, we're talking about workbook right now. So that was page 99, the written. The rest of it is on page 105. You need your CD. You need your Auditory Lab, Audio Lab CD, chapters 4 and 5, Audio Lab, Laboratory Audio CD. Right at the beginning, it corresponds with page 105. 105. You will listen to this and do the 2 assignments, A and B. The first one is about, it's an actual, it's like an advertisement on the radio. They're talking about this place and what kind of things you can do at this place. Like you could have reunions, you could have, you could celebrate a graduation. I don't know everything that's going to say, but whatever it says, you check mark. It'll have places for you to check mark. The second part, at the bottom of 105, is talking about, it's just a long conversation, and you'll have to find the correct answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, and C. Just listen to it. If you have to listen to it again, listen to it again. Do what you have to do to listen to that. Now, I'll be writing down all of these activities, but I just wanted to go over those words with you myself and explain them a little bit. And we'll stop here, and good luck. Buena suerte.